I don't know where to start on this record. This was one amazing record. Let me read you a lyric from this song. Let's just start out reading a lyric from this record. There was a time when I was alone. Quote unquote now. Quote, there was a time when I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home. My only friend was the man in the moon, and even sometimes he would go away too. Now, how forlorn and melancholy is that? Is talking about pixie dust, Peter Pan. It almost talks to your inner child. This record. It's a universal record, but it's phenomenal in the sense that it's also childlike. The song is called Lost Boy, the highest debut on my fantasy playlist, April 3rd, 2016, debuting at number 29. Fantasy playlist. Ruth B from Canada. She started posting videos on it was a video sharing service called Fine in 2013. It was snippets, not whole videos. It was different from YouTube in the sense on Fine you posted loops, snippets, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, and that's what she did. She covered some popular songs, but she was inspired by this show. It ran on ABC from 2011 to 2018. Never heard of it until I started researching this record. Once Upon a Time, that was the TV show. And the plot of this thing is fantastical. It is absolutely saturated with imagination. The gist of it, this is just the gist. It's about some evil queen named Regina. She takes these fairy tale characters. Well, she takes these characters from fairy tales, from other stories. She wipes out their memories and sends them to a real life town. The real life town called Storybrooke. And it's cursed. It's a curse that she got from Rumpelstiltskin. Christopher Robinson. I mean, this, man, I like it. It's just, well, apparently Ruth B, she liked it too. She was into it. She watched it. She was a loyal fan of this show. One day, she was so inspired. She got out her Yamaha keyboard and she wrote down this line. She came up with this line, quote unquote, I am a lost boy from Neverland, usually hanging out with Peter Pan. Put a melody to it, that's it. She put it out on Vine. A snippet, that's it. Just a snippet. But boy, within a week, she got about 84,000 likes. And people eventually were sharing it. They said, look, a lot of her fans are saying, make a song out of this. You can make a song out of this. And she started working on the song. Guess what she did? She shared it online. Well, she shared it through Vine. Snippets. Here's how much I've made. Sharing her progress on Vine. Eventually, she came up with a whole song, put it on YouTube, went viral. iTunes. The song went viral on YouTube. Ruth B started getting emails from record companies. Hey, we want to talk to you. Your song's going out all over the place. Lost Boy. And she wrote some other things too. Very original, because I do remember reading in another article about her. I looked over about 3 or 4 articles that her hobbies was story writing. She liked to write stories and write poems. But it wasn't until she wrote Lost Boy that she combined the songwriting, the melody aspects with her writing hobby. I lost my train of thought. Let me gather my train of thought. Try to pull all this together. Well, the record companies came calling. And with her parents and a music attorney, she hooked up with a management deal. Red Light Management. This was big. I couldn't believe who all they represented. Tiesto, Alabama Shakes, Luke Bryan, and Luke Bryan's exploding on country right now in 2019 as this video's being made. And they also represented the group Fish. I'm sure you remember Fish from back in the 90s and early 2000s, Phish. And she got that management deal, went to Los Angeles, New York City, visiting the record companies, signed with Columbia. Eventually, she hooked up with a guy named, she put out a successful EP, and she hooked up with a guy named Joel Little. Joel Little produced Lord early on. He produced Royals, or was it just Royal? I believe it was Royals by Lord back in 2013. He produced a song by Imagine Dragons, Whatever It Takes. Produced Young, Dumb, and Broke by Khalid. Oh boy, Ruth B. Boy, she hooked up with a big time producer. Babe, we're going Hollywood now. Going out on the town. The album, by the way, is called, I wrote it down, Safe Haven. Album's called Safe Haven. Safe Haven. And let's talk about the chart action on this record. Lost Boy went to number 97 in the UK. Should have went top 10 over there. Number 24 in the States, number 14 in Canada, and Denmark. Here's the thing about this record. I'll be honest with you. I'm not really, for the most part, the slow records. I like it. I like that locomotion, that fast beat, sometimes thundering guitars, great dance music, some of the rap records with a great beat to it, thundering bass line, percussion just rattling your spine. And this song's totally laid back. It's just, but there's so much imagination in those lyrics, and it's very universal. Because she wanted to make it more than just being about pixie dust and Peter Pan. Everybody needs a friend. Everybody gets alone. Everybody gets lonely every now and then. Some more often than others. And we all need a friend to reach out to or to reach out to us. Thus, here comes your universal theme into this record. Oh man, I tell you. Fascinating research. Gotta check out that show, Once Upon a Time. Never seen that show. I read a little bit about it on Wikipedia, and I was like, God dog, man. Missed a pretty rad show there. She was certainly feeling it. Came out with this great record, making its debut at number 29 on my fantasy playlist April 3rd, 2016.